Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So I realize we are well into January. You know, by the time this video goes up it might even be February, but I feel like better late than never. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys my 2020 vision board. I'm not really huge on vision boards. I do like, obviously, like paper planning and XYZ, but I'm just not really huge on vision boards, like especially ones outside of my planner. However, I thought that I would actually create a vision board because I went to a vision board party, so it kind of only made sense. So I'm just going to share with you guys my 2020 vision board and like what my goals are. Understand that this is basically just goals and less vision because it's not very like visually appealing, but let me show you guys what I got. Okay, so this is my 2020 vision board and we're just gonna go through it and I'm just gonna share with you guys my personal goals. And this is, like I said, my vision board. So these are just my personal goals, not goals that I am looking to set with my husband, although some of them are reflective of being married, if that makes any sense. Like number one, paying off my husband's student loans. That is really important to me, more important to me than to him, because I am really interested in getting rid of those loans for once and for all and just kind of moving on with our lives, you know, moving on past the student loans. And I mean, it's just a small amount, and honestly, I mean, it kind of makes, it wouldn't make any sense for us to not pay these off. So I'm not really sure when our actual goal date is. We haven't really talked about that. We haven't really set a goal date. I haven't set a goal date. I do know that I would like for them to for sure be paid off by September. Our birthdays are in September, so September is always like a natural goal, but like we could very well get these paid off much sooner than that if we like try really, really hard. So I don't think I have the amount on here, but the amount for his student loan debt currently is $14,000. So the next thing that I want to do is save $10,000 to our emergency fund. So we may do this simultaneously, or we may of course just wait until the student loans are paid off and then move along with saving $10,000. And it doesn't necessarily need to go to an emergency fund. Like all of our savings is just our savings. They're not really like split up really. So I just call it an emergency fund. So I would like to add an additional $10,000 to the emergency fund and just kind of have that in there moving forward as we go into 2020 to, you know, take care of any emergencies, or, you know, because some things that we put in our savings account, aka our emergency fund, isn't necessarily an emergency. So, you know, whenever it's time to pay for our car insurance again, or tax season if we happen to have a bill in 2021, or let's say we want to take a trip, or we have to take an emergency trip or an impromptu trip, things that are not planned for, like getting people gifts for weddings and baby showers and like stuff, the unknown. So basically $10,000 to the unknown fund. Next, I want to advance to the next level of my career, which this is interesting. I made this probably about 2 weeks ago, and I think it's kind of interesting because I am halfway there. I just finished up one of the things that I have to do. Now I have to do 2 more things. I have to take 2 classes and then take a test, and then I can essentially advance to the next level of my career. So I am kind of like in the thick of that, but I really do need to buckle down and finish it. But I do have technically all of this year to do it, so this isn't really anything that is optional. This is pretty much time sensitive unless I want to start all over, and I don't. So the next thing that I want to do is lose 20 pounds. Interestingly enough, before I set this goal, well, I want to lose more than 20 pounds, let's be clear, but 20 pounds I would feel very happy and proud and accomplished. So that's kind of like how I like to set my goals. Before I set this, well, after I set this goal, I went to my Jenny Craig appointment, and my, I don't know what you call, my accountability partner, so she works there, so I don't know like what her exact title is, but she actually challenged me to lose 15 pounds before beginning of May, I think May the 1st, and I would get a gift if I won. And I don't really care much about, I do care about the gift, but more so about the gift, more so than the gift, I do care about actually losing 20 pounds. And I said when we moved into this house, I would get back to walking, because walking is how I walked off unintentionally before about, I mean, honestly, probably like 100 pounds. So I do go to the gym. I have a membership. I do like going every now and again for like strength training and such, but I actually really do prefer walking, or really any outside activity. It's just that walking I can do by myself. If I want to play basketball, I can do that by myself, but like, how boring is that? Or play tennis, can't really do that by myself, you know. But so walking is something that's outside, which I love the outside, that I can do on my own. And actually we have a decent sized yard now, I'm looking at it, and I did text my ex personal trainer. That came out funny, but I did text him and I told him that he should train me and my husband, but I haven't really heard back from him. But I could totally buy like equipment and stuff like that. I don't know, having a trainer kind of holds me accountable, holds us accountable, because if you leave it up to us, even though my husband isn't overweight, we're not gonna work out. Like, that's just not, like, we just don't really naturally gravitate towards that. That's like not a part of our everyday regimen. It's not like the first thing that we think about when we wake up in the morning. It really should be. And that's what my goal is to start making that a priority. So now that we live in this community, I have kind of mapped out a route that I could walk. And so the hardest part is trying to figure out if I'm going to get up at the crack of dawn, you know, 6 a.m. That's early for me, to do this, to walk for an hour, because that's about how long I like to walk, or if I'm going to do it after work. So I think I'm going to try to start doing it after work. Anyway, that is goal number 4. Goal number 5 is to finish furnishing / decorating the house. So by this, so I should have like little subcategories. I was gonna put that, but I guess this is my vision board, and I know what I need to do to meet said goals, which is a part of goal setting, by the way, is breaking down each goal and creating an action plan for meeting said goals. But I know by looking at this that I want to have, you know, all of our living room furniture, which we're pretty close to being finished with that, and have our dining room furniture, and have the furniture for the other rooms. And by decorating, I want it to look not like a trap house. So as of right now, it looks, it's coming together, but it's a little, you know, on the struggle bus, and it can use some work. So I want it to be presentable as we move into 2021. Obviously, decorating is going to be like a forever thing. I'm never going to, you know, stop buying things for the house. I'm sure, I can only imagine that won't, you know, that I'll probably continue to buy little things here and there for the house to decorate and furnish and refresh and all of that. But as far as it looking like remotely decent, that is what I'm going for in 2020. So my next goal is to take a major anniversary trip. So as you guys have probably heard me rambling on about Bora Bora for forever, and that is because I really want to go to Bora Bora. It's my dream vacation, and we have the capacity to do it in 2020. The thing is, I invited my best friend and her husband, and not that makes it tricky. What makes it tricky is, so I really wanted to go for my birthday as a birthday trip. That's why I initially invited them. And then we found out that high season ends at the end of October in Bora Bora, and low season starts November the 1st. And our anniversary, our wedding anniversary, happens to be in November. So I was thinking, you know, I have always gone on like halfway decent trips for my birthday, but for our anniversary, because we've been on a financial freedom journey since we got married 3 years ago, we have never really like did anything remotely, you know, I mean, it's been fun, but it's been like local things for our anniversary. So I figured Bora Bora could be our anniversary trip, which would be super, super cool. And if we don't make it to Bora Bora for whatever reason, you know, one of the couples we invited, they're pregnant right now, so they can't go. So my friend actually is maybe thinking about having another baby, I think. So I don't know, you know, if that's gonna be a thing. So worst case scenario, if we don't make it to Bora Bora, then I would like for us to take a trip to Turks and Caicos. And I'm not really sure why, other than I love water and tropical places, and it's a short flight, much shorter than Bora Bora, and way more affordable. So that is what I mean by take a major anniversary trip. And then the last thing on here is to make $10,000 a month from my business. If you didn't see that, that is here. When I was writing this, and I created this at the vision board party, when I was writing it, I was thinking like, how cool would it be for 1 month for me to make at least 10K? So, you know, I feel like I inch closer and closer every month, but I don't think I've ever made it there. I don't know, I'm hard pressed to say that I won't this month in January. I'm not sure if I'm gonna make it in January or February, I don't know, but I thought that it would be super cool if one of these months this year I break $10,000 from my online business. That would be super cool and like totally a millennial thing, I feel like. And my one little word for the year is pressure. Apply the pressure specifically. You guys know that I am looking to work smarter and not harder. I am looking to just up the ante in different ways, apply the pressure in different ways, not keep doing the same old thing, which I'm not gonna go off on a tangent, but I feel like that is something that not only people on social media struggle with, but just people in general, because there really is a lot of people doing the same thing that you may be doing. So let's say you're not selling stuff online, but let's say you're selling something, you know, locally, or, you know, you have a cookie business or a bakery or something like that. It's just a lot of pressure whenever you are in business to perform to the best of your ability, and that can get pretty stressful. And I have tried my best to avoid that because I don't like bringing unnecessary stress into my life. So I have tried to, you know, avoid comparing or trying to compete, because I'm really not in any competition with anybody but me. Like, I cannot compete with anybody else. Like, that's not even a thing. Like, that's really not a real thing whenever it comes to business, although I feel like it has made a thing, but it's really not a thing. I can't compete with somebody else. Another YouTuber could have 55,000 subscribers like I have now, but we're still not, and they could have the same content that I have, but we're still not in competition technically. I can't have my personality, which is what this is all about, compete with somebody else's personality. Like, if I'm staying true to who I am and staying true to me, there is no competition. So without going on a further rant, because I totally went on a rant, without going on any further, I would just like to just apply pressure and just use the resources that I already have to do better work than what I'm already doing, without feeling like I'm in competition with anybody else. Because like I said, I've never really felt that way, but I could totally see how that could be a thing, and how when you're in business it would be hard to perform, because I have a full-time job and I have never felt like I'm in competition with anybody at my full-time job. Like, we all have the same credentials and schooling and whatever, the same job title, even all of that. And so I have never felt like it was a competition at my full-time job, but I am seeing like when you're in business how it could very well feel like sometimes you're in competition. So anyway, this is my vision board for 2020. I don't think I'm gonna like display it anywhere. They did give us some pretty hard paper, so I'm thankful for that. So I don't think it'll be damaged even if I like throw it somewhere. I don't think I'm gonna like display it. I don't know, it's not like, I'm definitely gonna put it somewhere that's easily accessible, maybe in upstairs, but I don't think it'll be like, you know, framed and displayed anywhere or anything like that, because I don't know, I feel like this material is good enough and I don't have to go the extra mile. But this is my 2020 vision board, my 2020 goals, my one little word. I am for sure gonna keep this so I can reflect back on it in 2021 so we can see what all I did get accomplished. But that's it for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.